What does this say? Swipe down to set length of time before. Okay, let's do that. Swipe to unlock. Whew, okay. Sorry guys, I was there playing with this little camera. I just picked up this DJI. I always say DJI Action 6. I have a little bit of a background in photography, so I started kind of getting into the video stuff, and I don't want to get too into the whole camera talk, starting this particular video, because it's relevant / non-relevant. But I am excited to have this little camera because, at the gym, I'm always worried about it falling off the tripod or putting in certain locations. One time I was jumping rope and I smacked my camera with the jumping rope, and I was like, dang, if this thing would have fell, and landed, that would have broke the lens. That really messed up my day, messed up my camera, and I've got a lot invested in these lenses, but that's neither here nor there. The topic of today's conversation, since we're going to start, focusing on boxing over 50, is today I'm not going to be in class, guys. I'm not going to be boxing. I'm not going to coach. I already spoke to Coach John Frierson. He's the head coach of the gym I'm at, and let him know. And it's not that I was scheduled or anything like that, but usually when I miss a day, he gets he lets me know, man, I'm loving this little camera, man. I could just set it down, I could just talk away and have these great conversations. But anyway, the topic for today is going to be active recovery. Okay, I was a very deep into the cycling world, and I never made it to pros, but I did get to category 3. So since I mixed the pros, the 1, 2, 3s together in certain criteria and stuff, and there's levels to them, man. There's levels to everything. But I was notorious, and this has been my entire life. I've always been notorious for overtraining. And back then I was working with Wenzel Coaching, and he would give me these little check marks to check and check in with me, see if I was overtraining. We're working off a heart rate monitor. I would check my heart rate every single morning, and then based off of that, we would run some numbers and get an average. So I noticed that when my heart rate was about 10 beats above the normal waking rate, let's just say I was at 48 or 45, 50 in the mornings, we would run those numbers for the whole week and then divide it, and it gives you an average, right? So you say you do that for 7 days, and you say you get an average of 52. That's your waking resting heart rate. But if there was a morning where I woke up, first thing you do, you wake up, you go to the restroom, come back, lay down for about another 5 minutes, and then check it. And you notice that your heart rate's about 10 beats higher than normal, then boom, there's something happening. You're either overworked or you're going to get sick, and it's time for recovery, So the other thing that I started noticing, and I couldn't put it back together, I was, back when I'm in my 20s, and you think you know it all, but you don't have the life experience. Luckily, Wenzel was really helping me a lot. I would get these massive sugar cravings, guys. Massive sugar cravings. I would drive out to Krispy Kremes, and I would kill, 3, 4, 5 donuts, man. Those glazed, especially if they were coming. And I felt horrible afterwards, because the digestion, the sugar rush, and everything, and no big deal. And then, of course, I'm a little bit groggy. I'm there. I think I'm there mentally, but I'm not physically giving out the output. Okay, fast forward, here I am. 50s. What would really help back then, and this was recommended by Wenzel, he would tell me you need an active recovery day. Don't take the day off completely, but go do something you enjoy. Go for a hike, go for a light spin. But I didn't know how to do light spins. I would always mash those pedals and go up Palomares Hill, or go do intervals, or go on the freaking Wednesday night ride where, you know, everyone's getting ready for the race, so we're all racing up the hills, and I would just dig a deeper hole for myself. So, you know, what I've learned is, like, for example, if, okay, this is an active recovery day, I would go into the pool, go do some laps, go for a hike with my dogs, or do something that's you're actively stimulating both your nervous system, and you're kind of staying in the zone too. Your heart rate's kind of staying in the zone too. But what I really started to like was going and exploring little areas, like, for example, Coyote Hills, Don Edwards Regional Park. There's another place called The Plunge out in Hayward, even Mount Diablo, you know, but I wouldn't exert myself. I would really enjoy, because I love being out in nature and stuff, I would really enjoy the scenery, and I would get enough of a little bit of a stimulation where it was both a mental and physical, both a mental and physical stimulation, and it works. It definitely works. And then I would, you know, gravitate myself, get back. So that's what's happening with me, guys. And I've been really, like, last week I really pushed the envelope where I was going to the gym, and then from the gym I would go to boxing, and then from boxing I would go and do a 3-mile walk, about an hour at a good pace, and the last mile I would tend to jog it. So don't do that. I am not fighting. I am not getting ready for anything. I'm just training to be a better, just to feel better in my own body, and to be able to keep up with my fighters, you know, with the people that I train. Not all of them are fighters, you know. Sometimes I gotta hold mitts, sometimes I gotta jump rope with them, sometimes, you know, I gotta be in the mix. So I have to have a certain level of fitness. So today we are going to go to Sunol Ohlone Regional. There's a little spot there called Little Yosemite. When I get there, I will definitely activate my camera, and I'll show you the location, and we'll get to the little waterfalls. And definitely, guys, if you're feeling, I mean, your sensibility and irritability levels may be greater than mine, but if you feel yourself, you're a little bit sensible, you're a little bit irritable, you have a lot of cravings for foods that you usually don't crave. In my case, it's sugars. Your sleep patterns are off, you're restless, and you just go to the gym and you don't have that snap, you know, that you will definitely incorporate an active recovery day into your training regimen, guys. Well, there you have it, guys. Little Yosemite. I've been sitting here just listening to the water. Believe it or not, you know, when you're near water, it'll ground you. There's a certain level of energy it gives you, some sort of calming. It's got to be in the elements or something like that, you know. But this was my active recovery day. I came, I did my little hike. I got that feet here near the water. I've been filming, got some little glimpses, so hopefully I have some beautiful B-roll. I apologize for not having my microphones. I hope the sounding of the water doesn't muffle out my voice, but hey, this is this is nature. It's spring, so it's going to do what it's going to do. So, other than that, catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you keep yourself time to do active recoveries. Over and out.